Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this webinar between Quadient and creative computing. As we kick off, I'm going to quickly introduce myself. My name is Raj Harash. I am the Partnerships Director here at Quadient. I'm responsible for two of our solutions. The first one being Quadient Accounts Receivable, which we're going to show you today, but also Quadient Accounts Payable as well. So we are the only provider within this ecosystem that can provide you with an accounts receivable and an accounts payable product from one company. I've been at Quadient now for just over 5 years, but I've spent the last nearly 20 years in the office of the CFO, streamlining, automating, mainly in using business intelligence tools to predict the future. I'm delighted to be here with one of our premier partners, and I'm going to pass over to Matt to introduce himself. Matt.
Hello there, good morning everyone, and I've been in the Microsoft Dynamics channel now for about 20 years. I'm the sales director at Creative, and we're here to implement Business Central as a Microsoft solution, Business Central being Microsoft's fastest growing app, and also overtaking NetSuite as the biggest cloud product globally. And we really pay attention to our customers, and we don't just say that lightly. Most of our customers stay with us 8 to 10 years plus because we just go that extra mile, not just at the initial project and implementation, but ongoing. And we always make sure that our customers are really well looked after. So let's look at the agenda this morning. So we're going to say a bit more about Creative. We're going to say about who Quadient are, the challenge finance teams face, the benefits of automating accounts receivable, and then we're going to see a demo and then some questions. So as I say, creative computing has been around since 1990, and we were originally a Sage partner. So we've done so many implementations of software to make sure that we automate processes, streamline processes, and start giving sets of data to our customers where they can make real decisions in real time. So we work with a number of partners to ensure that we make the core BC system even better. And Quadient is a great example of that sort of partnership. So we'll talk a little bit later about why this in particular is very important to our strategy at Creative. Raj.
Thanks for that, Matt. So you're probably wondering, who is Quadient? Have you heard of us before? You may or may not have. So some high-level figures from us. This is us. So you're probably thinking that's a lot of numbers. There's another number on there that I didn't put on. We're actually celebrating our 101-year birthday this year as well. So you're probably thinking in our world, it's just gone 10 o'clock. What's he been drinking since this morning? So let me give you a little bit of a background about Quadient. In 1924, Quadient was a company was set up called Neopost, based over in Romford, East London. And you probably think I've heard of Neopost before. Neopost provided mailing equipment into, sorry, go back a bit, providing mailing equipment into SMEs, medium-sized companies and large companies within there. Since that, the company has grown to revenues of 1.4 billion. We have offices in over 33 countries, and we've got more than 550,000 customers globally, and we're supported globally by almost 6,000 employees. About 10 years ago, Quadient made a big shift into moving from hardware into software. The reason being was that revenues and transactions were declining in the mailroom. Why? Because everybody was going everybody still is going through digitization. But we wanted to understand what was actually in the envelope that was going in and out of the mailroom. And 80% of that was finance-related documents. Hence why Quadient made two acquisitions, an acquisition of an accounts payable tool and an acquisition of accounts receivable tool. So we'll talk more about that in just a few moments. Excuse me. So since then, we have been developing our products and we've been developing our partner ecosystem as well. So this is quite a busy slide, but I want to give you, let you people know on this call the vision and the future and as to where Quadient is headed with creative computing. So on the left-hand side is Quadient Accounts Receivable. So I have now got a full understanding of your money coming in. I mentioned earlier that we also have an AP product. So I now have a full understanding of your money going out on the proviso you take both of the solutions together. Both of these solutions hit what we refer to as the hub, which is in the middle here. That hub now can provide you with cash flow forecasting tools, working capital dashboards, a wide variety of dashboards that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities from our AR and AP modules, combining them into one. Now you're probably thinking, my Microsoft Business Central can do that as well. You're right, it can. But what we're doing is that we're taking it from the source, from the Quadient AR platform and the Quadient AP platform, and then we push that into Microsoft Business Central. How do creative computing come into all of this? Well, we typically provide the software. Creative computing know your company. Creative computing have put together your Microsoft Business platform, Business Central platform. So creative computing will help with that change management, with the implementation within that. So we call this the circle of trust. And creative computing is part of that circle of trust. You will need one of these to make this work. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of an understanding in terms of how creative computing works with Quadient within there. So let's go on and actually see who are some of our customers. Well, we have many customers across our ecosystem, but these are just some of them. So you'll notice on the left-hand side, we have a big technology customer base. You will also notice that we've got that name there called Sage. Sage is a customer of ours, and they use our Quadient Accounts Receivable tool, but we're also a Microsoft certified partner. We, within Quadient, use Microsoft Business Central as well. So we know the Sage products, we know the Microsoft Business Central products as well. Let's move on. So why should you automate accounts receivable? Well, back about it was a couple of years ago, in 2024 actually, we commissioned a study of finance professionals in the UK, and here are some key findings from that research. I'm not going to read everything out from there, but 70% of credit control teams manually chase clients when the debt is over 57 days old. For me, that's a little bit late. You know, we should be sending out communications prior to that. 76% of AR departments would like insight into future debt, but are stuck producing legacy reports. Again, I'm going to show you that during the demonstration as to perhaps what you're doing at the moment. And 79% say their automated AR platform provides leaders. So once you have automated an accounts receivable tool, it provides their leadership teams with quick, no-nonsense snapshots of where the debt is. So there's some real benefits on automating your accounts receivable tool. In terms of our buying cycle, typically we have three buyers within our journey. We have the end user, we have the influencer, and then we also have the decision maker. Now, the decision maker could be the end user, the decision maker could be the influencer. But these are just some of the challenges that a CFO or a head of finance, so limited view of accounts receivable, disparate systems, trying to piecemeal everything together, trying to understand what their working capital is. You know, I've been in organizations, I'm sure as well as Matt has, where there's spreadsheets that are coming left, right, and center just to work out what their working capital is. And then you've got the influencers. Now, this could be the credit control manager. This could be the director of finance. They may be downloading aged debtors reports, sending those out to the team, and then waiting for the team to come back and fill those reports. And then we have the end users as well. So one end user may be talking to clients, the other may be doing an email to clients. You need to have a consistent approach within how you kind of communicate to your base within that. Matt, based upon what you've heard today and based upon what you know about our tool, what's your thoughts within the Microsoft Business Central platform and the AR side within that?
Yeah, great question, Raj. So BC has some great functionality and it has it across such a broad set of areas. But apps from the Microsoft community, like Quadient, really enhance the standard system. And this is a great example of what you're going to show today, whereby, yes, you can do credit control in Business Central, but the Quadient app, for me, is taking it up not just one level, but many levels. And I don't see any money spent on getting a better control of your cash flow as a cost, because you're investing in getting money into your business quicker and more efficiently. And that's got to be a great investment, right?
Absolutely. Well, without further ado, shall we? I believe the next slide is the Quadient AR demo. Let's go into the demonstration. So give me one moment. Let me stop sharing here. My screen. Screen, here we go. Okay. Hopefully, you should be able to see my screen. Should be able to see a series of... You can. Brilliant. Excellent. Okay. So, before I start here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of just some high-level overviews or some bullet points about Quadient Accounts Receivable. So, first and foremost, Quadient Accounts Receivable is a fully SaaS-based platform. So we won't install on-premise. We can't install on-premise within that. So all of the updates are provided by us. That's not your responsibility. Any tax changes, anything like that, that's all provided via us. Secondly, this is a multi-user platform. So you can have as many users logged in to this platform, and we won't charge you any additional within that. How we charge within this is via a consumption model. So we charge on the number of invoices that are being pushed through the system. So there's nothing stopping you from having your whole organization on this solution. Thirdly, just like our accounts payable tool, it's the research and development team sit in-house. We do 10 updates on this each year. So we are continuously investing in this product. So more and more features coming in every single year, and something that we're very, very proud of doing within that. So let's actually go into the solution in a bit more detail. So firstly, we integrate directly into Microsoft Business Central. So we won't ask you to upload details into an FTP site or anything like that. We have a direct sync into BC, and now that's pulling in all the data. So when I log in, these is what I'll see. I'll see my current bucket, my overdue bucket, my promise to pay, pending, and paid. Because I'm linked directly into Microsoft Business Central, I can actually go into my overdue, or indeed any of these buckets, and go to view and see who my overdue payables are, along with customer name. I can take action from here if needs be, but more on that a little bit later. This second ribbon here is my DSO, my day sales outstanding, and there's a calculation here on how we have calculated that together. The ribbon at the bottom here is telling me my DSO and how that's comparable to last week. My cash collected, comparable to last week. Any open invoices, any reminders, and any accounts that require a call, all comparable to last week. In this instance, I've got 11 companies with a total accounts receivable balance of about 4.5 million. But I'm sure many of you who are on this call have a number of legal entities. Well, if you do, those legal entities will be listed up here. So you may have 5, 10, 15, 20, or multiple. They'll all be listed, and you can flick in between those legal entities as you see fit. That will obviously update the charts accordingly. Whatever number of legal entities that you give me, I'm going to give you a +1, and that will be a consolidated view of your platform or of your legal entities within there. So let's actually have a look at some of the dashboards. This is my average days to pay, and you can see that's going in the right direction, so I'm very happy with that. Over here is my second of many dashboards, but over here are my top 10 customers, and you'll notice there is a scoring against each of these customers. This scoring is based upon the payment behavior on how these customers are paying you, not how they're paying everybody else, but how they specifically pay you. Behind these letters or these gradings are workflows. So if you can see Reed and Steel is an A player. If they move into a B, C, or D player, the workflow will change according to the grading. So from an A player, if you're moving down, you may find that the cadence of the workflow starts increasing. The language may start to change within there. Equally, it's the same via if you go from D, C, B, or A within there as well. More on the workflows in just a minute. But before we actually start showing you dashboards and everything else, we need to get the data in. So here is our aging report. Now, if you don't have a system like this at present, you may be downloading an aging report from BC. If you've got a credit control team, you may be sending that aging report to, sectioning that up or filtering that, sending that aging report to your appropriate credit controllers. They are then either calling out or they are emailing the customers. They're probably updating that spreadsheet that you sent them. You're waiting for that spreadsheet to come back. You're probably amalgamating all of that information to then present to the leadership team or to present some form of analysis within that. With our system, you no longer need to do that. The aging report comes directly into Quadient AR. All of these customers are already assigned to a workflow or a grouping of a customer. More on that in just a minute. And from there, then a workflow is assigned accordingly. If you have a new customer, the person with appropriate rights can actually go in and simply click against that new customer and assign that to the appropriate accounts receivable clerk or to the appropriate parent company or the workflow within that. So once I've actually got all of my data in, and sorry, just before I move on, I can also bring in custom fields from Microsoft Business Central as well. So there's a wide number of custom fields that I can bring in if you require that data as well. Once I've got that data in, I now move over to workflows. Now, another thing that we've got is unlimited workflows. So that's the second unlimited feature that we've got. This is where I really suggest to all of our customers, please start segmenting your base. What I mean by that, you may want to segment your base into large accounts, key accounts, mid-market accounts, one-off customers. You may want to segment that into verticals, transport, logistics, health and beauty. Whichever way it is, now is the time to start looking at how you want to segment those customers. Why? Because the way I am going to communicate to a key account workflow is completely different to the way I want to communicate to a one-off customer. On a key account workflow, I want to be a bit more tactile. On a one-off customer, I can be a bit more direct. So let me give you an example of a key account workflow. So in this specific example, I've got an email that's going out 2 days before the due date of the customer. It's going to the billing contact. And in this instance, it's going to say, I'm going to pick on Matt. Hello, Matt. This is a friendly reminder that your invoice, and there'll be an invoice number here, for the amount of invoice total here from business name is due on invoice due date. Now, all of the things that I've just highlighted, we're pulling from Microsoft Business Central. We can also attach open invoices, your current 1 to 30, attach any customer statements and any child customer statements within there, or a wide variety of other things as well. So that's gone out 2 days before the due date. 1 day after the due date, again, this is only a demonstration, but you can do it 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days after the due date. Your first set of Dunnings goes out. So it'll read, "Hello, Matt. Please note that you have an invoice." Again, invoice number, invoice total, all being pulled from BC, is now 30 days past due. Please, can you arrange payment for this? You can still attach whatever additional documents that you require. 4 days now after the due date. So Matt has not come back to me in anything so far. 4 days after the due date, I'm sending Matt another reminder. But notice this. Matt was part of my billing contract. Now I'm looping in my customer success team. I'm not asking them to do anything, but I'm just making them aware that this is now 30 days past due within that, and we're struggling to get hold of Matt. Again, the workflow continues. Now I actually want to put a call in. So Matt does not answer, or no payment has been received. I can put a call in. Again, 7 days after this due date, after I put a call in, or after I put a call in, I'm now sending another email. But notice, we first were into the billing contact, then we had the customer success team. Now I'm looping in my sales team as well. At that point, the sales team or the customer success team may come back to me and say, "Listen, Matt's away for 3 weeks in Spain, so he's not going to be answering yours, but you may want to get hold of X within that. At least I know within that." This continues now until the debt is delinquent. And this is unlimited within there as well. Now, a lot of questions I get asked are, what happens if I do get through to Matt? And he says, "I'm going to do a promise to pay for next week." No problem at all. So this is where global rules come in. So we will then create a promise to pay within this. And what that will do is, let's just say Matt says that Matt says to me, "I'm going to pay you next Wednesday." In that promise to pay, I will create a date for next Wednesday. And now that I will exclude any information or any communication going out to Matt until that Wednesday.
Raj, actually,
yes,
before we crack on, Lisa's asked, does the workflow show which steps have actually been completed? And I thought, rather than wait till the end, because you might not know what it referred to, so I just want to bring that one up.
Can you repeat the question, please, Matt?
Does the workflow show which steps have actually been completed?
Correct. Yes, it does. And I'll show you that in just a few moments within that. It'll be under tasks. So great question, Lisa. And yes, it does within them. Okay. And please, Matt, please continue to do that, because I can't see the questions coming through within that. So a promise to pay is created for next Wednesday. Next Wednesday comes. Matt has not paid me on that. Now that promise to pay is broken. With that promise to pay is broken, you may want to create a separate workflow that states, "Now, dear Matt, we had an agreement that you were going to pay me on Wednesday. This has not happened now, so we're applying a 3% surcharge on the invoice within that." It's the same within disputes. The difference being, if the dispute is opened, you can put a dispute code against that dispute. So it could be goods damaged, wrong PO, etc., etc., and reports can be run on the back of that as well. When a dispute is open, again, no communication going out to that customer until that dispute is closed within there. Those are just a couple of global rules that we've got. If I have a look at this rule, the rule engine, we have a wide variety of others. Balances approaching credit limit, customers created. The list goes on. If I go back, the next question I get asked is, how easy is it to create these email templates? Very, very, very easy. Here are some that we've created in the past, and we'll give you more if you decide to come along with us. But if you want to create your own, you simply go up here, go add template. I'm going to use one that I've used before. dispute over 48 hours. Now in here, I'm going to put inspirational quote. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here. I am now using AI to generate my dispute. And if you remember, I put in there inspirational quote. There should be one in here, and I think there it is. As the saying goes, challenges are what makes life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. We are here to support you in resolving any concerns quickly. So it's just a real quick, fun way of how we use AI within there as well. Hopefully that's given you a good background into workflows. Now, to answer Lisa's question, if I go into tasks, this is now telling me from my task page everything that's opened from me. So I've got all of my open, my overdue, my current, and my completed tasks as well within there. If I've got if I'm a team manager, I've got all of my team here, and just in case John doesn't turn up for work today, I can assign all of John's tasks over to Nathan by a click of a button. I can also see any emails that have bounced, any disputes, and I can see the priority of these as well. Now, very quickly, some of you may already have an inbox, such as credit control at Creative Computing or accounts at Creative Computing. We will integrate into that inbox. And what we're doing is that we're using AI and machine learning in two ways. Firstly, we are now reading that that email, and from there, in the future, we will deploy a bot to actually respond to that email. But also, what we're doing is that until then, we are providing you with a one-click response back to this customer. Now, every time I respond back to this customer, it will come from the email address that it's integrated to. So a real benefit to everyone within this, everyone that's connected within this. Let's actually go into an account. So I'm going to pick one of my favorites, which is Wayne Enterprise. Now, within Wayne Enterprises, this is now a snapshot or a health check of how the account is performing. Wayne Enterprises is a B player, and they're going down. So that means that they're not hitting the KPIs that we put together. They've got a credit score of 60. This is their current dispute, overdue, promise to pay buckets. On the left-hand side are all of the contacts that we've got. I can now also take payments over the phone. Hold that thought. More on payments in about 20 seconds. It also makes me PCI compliant. I can also send documents to this customer as well. Now, within this, what this account's telling me, I've got all of my open invoices, and it's telling me on this invoice, I've got a dispute, and this invoice, I've got supplementary documents that are attached. I've also got a payment probability on the right-hand side as well, as to what's the probability of this invoice being paid. At the bottom, I've got all of the activity. All of my emails are in one place. My mail, my call log, my SMS log, so everything that I've got is all here within there, which is great if you are an account manager or if you're a retentions manager, etc., etc., within that, because you can actually view the health status of this account and make actions accordingly. Furthermore, we can also push this data to Salesforce as well, the CRM system. Very quickly, up at the top here, I can do a wide variety of tasks, but I'm going to show you one that we get constantly. So typically, let's just say I'll pick on Matt again. I've got through to Matt, and I'm chasing him on an invoice. And Matt says, I never received the invoice. That's fine, Matt. Let me resend that to you. So I would put Matt's email address here. I would select a template from here. And in this instance, I'm going to use monthly statement. Or I can use a generate email AI functionality here. I can attach the invoice or any supplementary documents, and I'm going to send that. If I refresh my screen, and go to emails, this is what Matt will receive, or a version of what Matt will receive. So in this instance, it says dear valued customer, but in real-time instance, it'll say, dear Matt, your current balance is X. You can view your account by using this link, blah, 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 blah. But notice, I want to direct Matt to this link. So it could be, you can pay this invoice by clicking on this link, use this paying link to pay your invoice, blah, blah, blah. Why do I want Matt to click on this invoice?
Raj, sorry, your screen hasn't changed for me for the last 30 seconds.
Oh, are you seeing the monthly statement come up?
No. It's not changed from the list view for about the last 40 seconds now, 50 seconds.
Let me try that again. Let me re-share my screen. Let's go to entire screen. Can you see that now? Can you see this? You should better see Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah, I can now. Yeah.
Okay. So you should better see. Let me go back. You should better see the email that I'm sending out in just one moment, which is. Can you see the email? Or not? No?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Now I'm going to click on this link. Can you see the link? There's a link button here. If I click on that link, you should be seeing a Wayne Enterprises customer portal. Can you see that, Matt?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Within that. So that link now has sent me into your very own white labeled customer portal. From here, I can do a wide variety of tasks. So here are all of my open invoices. And from here, I can do a variety of things. I can add a promise to pay as the customer. I can manage a dispute. I can do a partial payment, or I can download that invoice as well. But if I want to make a payment, I can do. And within that, if I select new card, it will open me up another tab. In there, I would input all of my details. I would hit continue. I would submit the payment functionality. Now, we are using one of our merchant providers for this. So now this makes you PCI compliant. So you are completely compliant with all of the legislation that comes with taking payments. And if I go back to the statement, you'll notice that this invoice, which was outstanding, has now moved to pending. Now, this is a very interesting point. With Microsoft Business Central, because of our integrations with BC, I can actually post that transaction back into BC and do one of two things. Either I can allocate this to that payment and close off that invoice, or I can leave it unallocated and someone can go in and marry those two transactions together. Is there any questions, Matt, around this that you can see that people are asking?
No, not at the moment. No.
Wonderful. Okay. Hopefully that's illustrated our customer portal. Let's actually now go back into our dashboards. So hopefully you can see my screen. Again, the dashboards. So this now, average days to pay, is probably making a lot more sense. Hopefully now this has illustrated how we calculate the grading. Just to let you know, the grading is patented by Quadient. So we are the only ones that can provide this. But we've got more dashboards. So here are my open invoices totals. And it's showing me on the 26th of February what my current and my overdue bucket is. So this allows me to monitor when I'm getting most of my money in and when I'm not. One of the other things that I failed to mention was whenever we send an email out, we install a pixel on every email that's been sent. So I know how many emails have been sent, how many have been viewed, and how many have failed. So if Matt says to me, Raj, I never received the email, I can actually go back and actually see if Matt has received the email or if he's viewed it. Now, we'll never call Matt a liar, right? But I can raise a hand internally and say, there's something that's not right within this account. So it's giving you insight into the behaviors of the email chains that are going out. This is my cash collected dashboard, but my favorite one is this one here. 7, 14, 30, or 60 days from now, I can predict your future. So today's date is the 12th of March. Let's go to April the 3rd. And within April the 3rd, I've got a projected to be unpaid by Los Polos Hermanos. They're a B player. I need to understand why. I've got a projected to be paid by Hooli. Good, because they're a D player. And I've got a daily promise to pay from Reardon Steel. So I can give you 3 levels of cash flow forecasting based upon the gradings that we've got. Close that. At the bottom here, the final dashboard is really helping my credit control team. So if I scroll all the way over here, it's telling me the age of my debt and the payment probability and the expected payment date. So I've got this debt here from Stark Industries. It's £49,000. It's 61 to 90 days past due, which is high, but I'm expecting a payment tomorrow. So do I want to hold fire on communicating to them, or do I want to make sure that payment, well, obviously I want to make sure that payment comes in, or do I want to contact them? So it's really giving the credit controllers insight as to what they want to do. Finally, just on this, you have other goals as well. So I've got my credit control team. I can see how they're performing, and I can set goals for them for the company as well. One last thing I just want to show you before I open it up to questions is our reporting module. So everything that I've shown you here is fixed. That means you can't move the dashboards, but we've had several requests in the past. We'd like to make our own reports. So what we've done is put together a reporting module. So we've got demo reports here. Sorry, demo reports here as a sample reports. So we've done some reports for you. So I may want to see how my disputes are going. So I've got closed disputes within there. It's got the baseline data within there. I may want to see how many promise to pays I've had. I may want to create my own reports, which I can do from here. And we've also got dashboards as well. So I've got, let me give you a Genesis example. This is a dashboard that I created myself, or you can create your own dashboards from here. Now, with the reports and the dashboards, I can schedule those to go out to whoever I see fit, either daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, etc., within there as well. There is so much more that I can show you within that, but this really is a teaser to show you what Quadient Accounts Receivable is all about. I'm going to stop sharing there. I'm going to go back into our slides. Where are we? And I will open that up to any questions that we've got. I apologize. I have overrun, and I've been told. Typical that, isn't it?
Yeah. We get a bit excited about our software, and I don't blame you.
We do indeed. Well, look, here we go.
We've got a question.
How does work for one-off customers that pay by credit card for pro forma invoice? So, yeah, very good. So the credit card, if you were to take the credit card over our customer portal, that will then self-reconcile within Business Central if that's the way you want to set that up. Okay. The other way, you may already have a credit card company and you may already be taking credit cards over the phone, etc. The next time the sync happens, so if you've already done the bank reconciliation within Microsoft Business Central, the next time we sync, that will already be paid within there. I hope that's answered that question. If not, very happy to have another session with you, Lynn, so we can just explore that in a bit more detail. Thank you. Any other questions? We'll give it another couple of minutes. Can I just say this audience has been fantastic. The best so far. We do a wide variety of these.
Cool. Well, why don't we wrap it up, Raj? Because
yes.
everyone can always email us some further questions if they want to. Yes.
Absolutely. No. So on my behalf, and I'll pass over to Matt just to close this off, but thank you so much. And we're also very delighted to be doing this with Creative Computing as well. Please do reach out either to ourselves. You can reach me on LinkedIn and indeed Matt, or reach out to Creative Computing themselves. Matt, I'll leave it with you just to wrap up as well.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Raj. An excellent presentation, and it's a really great app, and I advise anyone that wants to get a handle on their credit control to really invest in this, because it's just giving you, as I say, many levels over and above what's standard in Business Central. And I think a lot of apps deliver an extra level. This really goes the extra mile. And so it's an excellent piece of software. So well done, Quadient. Thank you, Raj. Thank you for Chloe and Murad for organising as well. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.